Hello and welcome to another SkaredCast Battle Report today in Sudbury, Ontario, Canada. I'm up in once again playing at the Computer Nook against Marcus and his Eldar army, testing out some of the new units in the book. So, it's 1500 points and the Carnival of Pain has decided to fight once again. We are playing the Scouring with Vanguard deployments. We still haven't decided what the objectives are, so we have to turn those over in a second. But his army showcase and deployment. So for 1500 points, we have Janezar and 10 Howling Banshees in a Wave Serpent. All the Wave Serpents have Twin Link Bright Lances, a cannon, and their shields, and of course Holo Fields. Then we have 10 Dire Avengers in this Wave Serpent with an Exarch with the power field and a power weapon, and both Exarchs in that one and in that one over there. Also have Disarming Strike, and then 3 Dark Reapers with crack rockets in that one over there. In reserve, there's 4 Eldar jet bikes with a cannon. Now, of course, you know the 1500 points of Coven list, but I've deployed 2 Taloi at the front, 10 warriors with a blaster and a dark lance, Urien with his uber grotesques in the barge right there, supported by 10 witches and 10 Wracks in the green raider. So we have all 6 objectives set up, and DarkEldar at the moment have turn 1. The forces of Urien Rakath advanced forward. The warriors in the building check what this objective is, and it's a Skyfire Nexus. Sadly, there are no flies in this game. By the way, there's 3 points there, 4 points in the forest, 2 points on the top of that hill, 1 point in no man's land, 2 points on this hill, and 3 points by that busted up rhino. Shooting saw the 1 warrior miss into the furthest Wave Serpent, and the 1 raider hit but failed to do anything, not even glance, against the Wave Serpent, which meant that Urien and the witches boosted up, because it's very unlikely that I will kill the Wave Serpents offhand. The Taloi also advanced forward, trying to get into better position. With a swift redeployment, the Eldar take to the back end of the battlefield and open up on Urien's raider, causing 2 hull points. The Knight stealth saving the raider that had flatted out. Janezar's Wave Serpent opened up on the Talos in the open, succeeding in putting 1 wound on the beast as it lumbers forward. Now we're moving on to DarkEldar turn 2, and we have reserves to roll for. So we have witches in a venom. They arrive. We have warriors in a venom. They arrive as well, and deep striking Scourge. They do not show up, staying up in the sky. The DarkEldar advanced, shot, and did nothing with their lances. But assaulting saw most damage done. The witches successfully multi-charged 2 Wave Serpents, and with the Haywire Grenades, wrecked both of them. The Dark Reapers and Dire Avengers have now disembarked, and they passed their pinning tests, awarding the DarkEldar First Blood. With Urien Rakath and his Uber Grotesque getting out of their Shaken Raider, moving up and charging into the Wave Serpent, and only putting 2 glances on it with their Strength 7. They failed a lot to hit. And now we're moving on to Eldar. Turn 2. Will the Eldar jet bikes come in to the game? The Dire Avengers moved back, shot into the witches, killing 4 of their number, because they were hiding behind the wreckage, and the witches broke. And then they battle-focused a little bit further back. With the reroll, they got a grand 2 inches. The Dark Reapers also shot into the witches and failed to do much damage, thanks to the witches' Feel No Pain that they got for their drug roll. The Wave Serpent that had been charged by Urien and his Grotesques, with 1 hull point remaining, has boosted all the way into the side, putting a lot of pressure on the backfield 4 and 3 point objectives, supported by the Wind Rider jet bikes, who fired into the venom and did nothing. On the other note, Janezar, seizing the opportunity, has boosted up and prepared to put a lot of pressure on the warrior unit in the building, while most of the DarkEldar forces are engaged elsewhere. We'll be moving now onto DarkEldar turn 2, and we're rolling to see if the Scourge arrive from reserve. They do not. They decide to stay back and enjoy the sunshine. The forces of the Eldar have surrounded the Dire Avengers and the Reapers, and have killed 3 Dire Avengers from this unit and 2 Dark Reapers with a Liquefy gun. The Witches failed to rally and continue to fall back. I failed to do any damage to Jane'Zar's Wave Serpent because of Holofields and Turbo Boosting, and I failed to get the last hull point off of that Wave Serpent with the Dire Avengers, but I was able to force a morale check on the Wind Rider jet bikes, who then fell back off the table. The Reaper, fear the Reaper. He shot his 1 crack rocket into the Venom and blew it sky high. The Witches actually passed all their 6+ armor saves, which was kind of cool. The Dire Avengers moved up, shot threw a grenade into the Witches. They went to ground, so they only killed 1 after Feel No Pain saves, and then they battle-focused away from the Talos and Urien. On the far flank, Jane'Zar got out of her Wave Serpent, and they killed 3 models in the Warrior unit who held. The Dire Avengers were waiting for the Wave Serpent to blow up the Venom, but even after shooting the Bright Lance, the cannon and the Serpent Shield at the Venom only succeeded in putting 1 hull point on it and stopping it from moving and shooting, so the guys inside cannot shoot next turn. Therefore, the Dire Avengers decided to fire into the Raider that is full of Wracks and put 2 hull points on it. Well, 3, and I saved 1 from a jink, from their Avenger catapults. And now we're moving on to DarkEldar turn 4, and the Scourge are coming down from the sky. The Scourge arrived and missed horribly when they tried to shoot that Wave Serpent. My Wracks moved up, got out of the Wave Serpent. 12 hits with their Liquefy guns against the Jane'Zar-led Howling Banshees that were only AP6. So they put 1 wound on Jane'Zar that was at the front of the unit, soaking everything up for them. I was able to finally wreck that last Wave Serpent. The Venom killed 2 Dire Avengers with snapshot splinter cannon fire. The 1 Raider boosted up to try and pick up Urien, who unleashed his Casket of Flensing because it's turn 4 on the last surviving Dark Reaper and killed him. The Witches that were falling back regrouped. The other Witches and them and the Talos all fired into that Dire Avenger unit and killed 1 of their number. Last but not least, my Wracks charged into Jane'Zar and died horribly. They killed 1 Howling Banshee in combat, and then the other Talos is moving up to support, but it's looking in dire straits for the home objective. The Wave Serpent moved up, and the Dire Avengers moved up and shot a lot into the Scourge, who only lost 2 of their number because their saves were brutally awesome. Jane'Zar and the surviving Banshees charged into the 7 warriors that were left and killed them all because they became Initiative 1 and Weapon Skill 1, and yeah, she yelled at them a lot. On this side, the Dire Avengers took out the Witch unit in the crater finally with some good shooting, and other than that, that's all she wrote. So we're moving on to DarkEldar turn 5. Could be the end of the game. Raiders moved up to provide a block for Jane'Zar in case anything happened. The Warriors and Venom and Scourge moved around that objective. The Scourge, remember, is scoring in the Scouring. A lot of shooting saw a lot of Dire Avengers dead, with only 3 remaining, with the Exarch is in there as well. The Talos shot, killed the Witch with his Liquefy gun, charged in, killed the Exarch with all his attacks because she was using her 3+ invulnerable save in combat, so she soaked up a lot of wounds. And Jane'Zar put 1 more wound on the Talos, so there's 1 wound left on the Talos. Urien Rakarth got into his Raider, and it boosted all the way up to here. So now he's ready to come out and play next turn. The other Talos on the other flank charged into the Dire Avengers, killed 4 of them. The Exarch chose to flee because he couldn't. He chose to use his "my weapons are useless" rule and run away, while the Witches held around that objective. The Dire Avengers put some punishing on the Cabalite Warriors, throwing a plasma grenade from the Exarch. By the way, Exarch with a power weapon and shimmer shield doesn't have any ranged weapons except his plasma grenade, which is an 8-inch strength 4 AP4 blast. Remember this, because it is awesome. Killed a bunch of warriors, he fell back. The Wave Serpent unloaded everything he had into the Scourge and killed 1. Those Scourges have like horseshoes stuck up weird places. And Jane'Zar failed to take the last wound off the Talos with her shredding melee weapon, and the Talos killed 2 of the Banshees, leaving 1, but they're fearless thanks to Jane'Zar. And the Exarch continued falling back, threw a grenade into the witches, but failed to kill any because they hugged cover to no end. So, Mark is going to roll to see if the game continues to turn 6. And it does. We'll be back after turn 6. We moved around here, tried to kill the last Exarch, but he failed to die. I shot a lot at him. I shot a lot at the Wave Serpents and finally killed it because it had lost its Serpent shield with a penetrating hit. Urien is now charged into Janezar, and there is a challenge brewing. So Janezar did disarming strike Urien, so he's just attacking with a close combat weapon. And other than that, on this end of the board, the Talos finally killed the Dire Avenger Exarch. But we do have a challenge, so we're going to be rolling this on camera. Janezar has 5 attacks standing still, so she needs 3s to hit Urien. Urien is going to get... Ooh, cocked. 3 clones. And Janezar needs 3s to hit. She hits 4 times, so Urien is going to negate 3 of those hits. And she wounds once. And so Urien has taken a wound. Urien Rakath attacks back with his attacks after charging. He needs 4s to hit the Phoenix Lord. He is Furious Charge now that... so he's only strength 4, but he does not have anything crazy or fancy because she disarmed him. So he needs 4s to wound. And wow, he did 4 wounds. Janezar needs 4 armor saves with 2 up. Remember, she has taken a wound. She's okay. She's okay. She's okay. She's okay! She lives. Woo! And now that poor Banshee's going to die to all that. We'll be back after this. Dire Avenger had actually failed his morale test and kept on running. He's off the board now. Now, the combat! Janezar is going to try and disarming strike Urien Rakath again. So we both roll a dice. She gets to roll +1. And if she... Oh, yeah, she disarming strikes me. There's nothing I can do against that. So I'm fighting with my puny weapon again. Okay. So she needs 3s to hit. Oh, Urien Rakath gets 3 clones. So yeah, she hit with all 5, but I negate 3. Holy crap! You negate things, right? So that's 2, needing 5s to wound, but re-rolling because of shred. She doesn't do any wounds this time. I get my 4 attacks, needing 4s. 2 hit. And needing... I'm only strength 3 now, so 5s. 1 armor save for Janezar. Oh, I got a wound! But she still has 1 wound left. And Mark's going to roll to see if it goes on to turn 7. And it does! We'll be back. Well, I guess we'll just roll the combat right here, because all that matters is the combat. So... Janezar is going to try and disarming strike me again. And, oh, if I roll a 3, no, if I roll a 4. Yes! I don't get disarmed. Awesome. Okay, so she gets to attack, but this time I only get 2 clone fields, and Urien does gain his wound back, just because it's the beginning of the DarkEldar turn. So 2 clone fields for Urien, needing 3s to hit with Janezar. And she hits with 4, but I'm taking 2 away. She wounds with 5s, but re-rolls thanks to awesomeness. Oh, 2 wounds on Urien. Ouch. So he's got 1 wound left. Thank goodness he re-knits himself. That's always fun. So, 4 attacks from Urien, needing 4s to hit. And now he needs 3s to wound, because his Echo Gauntlet is back online. And he does 1 more armor save on Janezar. She's okay! And meanwhile, the grotesques just look funny and look at her funny. Okay, so now we're going on to Eldar, turn 7, and that's right, back to the combat. So, Janezar's going to try and disarm Urien Rakath. So, Urien Rakath rolls a 4. Oh, she does. And then Urien Rakath gets how many clones? 2 clones again. And she does... Oh, God. And I think Urien Rakath might die a horrible death right now. To the hands. Oh, she has to reroll him. Oh, no way! She didn't kill him! Okay, so Urian gets 4 attacks back. This is like the most epic slapfest ever. Needing 4s to hit, 1 hit. Needing 5s to wound. No wound! And Janezar survives the combat. Well, thanks a lot for watching. That was a lot of fun. DarkEldar win with a 4-point objective over here. Linebreaker from the Witches with a 3-point objective. First Blood. Nobody got Warlord. And that's about it. Okay, well, thanks a lot for watching. This is Skari. Make sure you tune in to the podcast and whatnot. Stay tuned for the Tactical Corner. Cheers, have a good one. Bye.